What if I told you that humanity's greatest miseries came not from war, plague, or the gods, but from the curiosity of one woman and a box she was never meant to open? In this video, we unravel one of the most misunderstood tales of Greek mythology, the myth of Pandora's box. You've heard of it, you've probably even used the phrase, but the real story? It's darker, more complex, and far more meaningful than most people realize. From divine deception to the birth of hope, we're diving deep into the myth, its symbolism, and what it truly meant for humanity. And by the end, you'll never look at the phrase Pandora's box the same way again. The divine setup, a world before women. Let's rewind. In the beginning, according to Hesiod, one of the oldest Greek poets, there were titans, gods, and Geu, men. Yes, only men. Humanity, at this point in mythology, was exclusively male, molded by Prometheus, the titan who loved humankind enough to defy Zeus himself. Prometheus shaped mortals from clay and gave them fire, the ultimate divine secret, a symbol of progress, technology, and rebellion. This fire, both literal and metaphorical, became mankind's greatest tool, but also its greatest curse. Zeus, the king of the gods, was furious that Prometheus had stolen fire from Olympus and gifted it to mere mortals. And like any Greek myth, divine anger never ends well. So, Zeus devised a punishment, but not for Prometheus alone, for all of mankind. The creation of Pandora, a divine masterpiece of doom. Zeus called upon Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods. His command, create a being so beautiful, so flawless, that none could resist her. Hephaestus sculpted her from clay, just like Prometheus had done with men. But this creation was different. She was the first woman. Then came the gifts from the gods. Aphrodite gave her beauty and irresistible charm. Hermes gave her cunning speech and deceitful nature. Athena taught her household skills and grace. Apollo gave her a silvery voice for singing. And Zeus, he gave her curiosity and a sealed jar. This woman was named Pandora, meaning all gifted. But her name wasn't just about the gifts she received. It was a warning about what she carried. The jar, not actually a box. Let's clear this up. Pandora's box was originally a pythos, a large clay jar used to store food, wine, or oil in ancient Greece. The term box came from a mistranslation in the 16th century by humanist Erasmus of Rotterdam, and it stuck. So what was inside the jar? All the evils of the world. Zeus had sealed them inside. Pain, disease, sorrow, lies, despair, war, greed, aging, jealousy, all the things humans hadn't yet experienced. And he gave that jar to Pandora and sent her to Earth. Pandora meets Epimetheus, the fateful marriage. Prometheus, ever the rebel, had warned his brother Epimetheus never accept a gift from Zeus. Never. But when Pandora arrived, Epimetheus forgot everything. Her beauty, her voice, her presence, it was overwhelming. He married her without hesitation. And for a while, everything seemed fine. But Pandora's gift of curiosity began to burn inside her. That sealed jar, it called to her. What was inside? Why had Zeus sent it? Why was she not allowed to look? And like Eve in the Garden of Eden, she made a choice. The opening. A world transformed. One day, unable to resist any longer, Pandora opened the jar, and in an instant, the world changed. From the mouth of the jar erupted the darkest spirits imaginable. They screamed into the skies, spreading across the earth. Pain embedded itself in flesh. Sickness slithered into every corner. Old age crept into bones. Envy poisoned hearts. War sharpened blades. Death became real. Before Pandora could seal the jar again, everything had escaped, except one thing. Hope, the last remaining gift. At the bottom of the jar, trembling and quiet, remained one final spirit. Elpis, the spirit of hope. She didn't escape with the others. Pandora slammed the lid shut just in time. Why was hope left behind? Was it mercy from the gods? Was it Zeus's ultimate cruelty? Trapping hope so that humanity would suffer without relief? This question has divided scholars. mythologists, and philosophers for centuries. But one thing is certain: even when every evil was unleashed, hope remained. The moral dilemma of Pandora's story. Here's where the myth becomes more than just a story. Was Pandora to blame for unleashing suffering? Or was she just another pawn in a divine chess game? Think about it. Pandora was created by Zeus to be perfect, yet also deeply flawed. She was given irresistible curiosity, and then punished for acting on it. The myth raises haunting questions. Is curiosity a sin? Is the pursuit of knowledge inherently dangerous? Why is the first woman blamed for the downfall of humanity? Sound familiar? The parallels with Eve in the Bible, Lilith, and even Prometheus himself are uncanny. In every tale, there's a path. Pandora is not just a woman. She's an idea. Her jar represents the human condition. We live in a world full of suffering, but we also cling to hope. Her curiosity mirrors our own desire to explore, to question, to understand, even when it leads to danger. Some modern interpretations suggest Pandora represents the birth of consciousness. The jar is life itself. Once it's opened, we experience pain, joy, loss, and hope. Her act of opening it was not a sin, but the first step toward becoming truly human. That's a powerful shift in narrative. She's no longer the cause of evil. She's the catalyst for awareness. Without suffering, there is no empathy. Without pain, no growth. And without darkness, we don't value the light. It's not just a myth about a curious woman and an angry god. It's a story about the duality of existence. It tells us that suffering is inevitable, that once we're born, we inherit a world filled with hardship. But amidst that suffering is hope. And hope, as fragile and faint as it may be, is the one thing that gives us strength to go on. Even when the jar is empty, even when all seems lost, hope endures. That's what makes this myth so timeless. We all open metaphorical jars in our lives. We chase truth, even when it hurts. We seek answers, even if it leads to pain. But we also hope. In war, in grief, in disaster, in loneliness, humans hold on to hope like it's the last thread tying them to sanity. And maybe that's the lesson Zeus never expected us to learn. We suffer, but we rise. We bleed, but we heal. Because even when all is lost, hope remains.